today's accountancy session by Studors. After learning a lot of science, social studies and hectic mathematics, you enter into a world of commerce where accountancy is the king. So for commerce stream students, accountancy is one of the major subjects. Well, before starting accountancy, one tip. Do not ever by heart the subject. Just understand the things and learn it. Go for the exam, you will crack it. So mainly today we would be dealing with the introduction. But let me remind you, every session of here would be an introduction for you because this whole 11th standard would be an introduction to this subject called as accountancy, as it is a very new subject to you guys. So in this introduction session, we would be dealing about accountancy, accounting, bookkeeping, economic and non-economic activities. Well, to start with, accountancy mainly involves economic activities. So there are two types of activities. What are they? Economic activities and non-economic activities. Rather than just giving you the definition or the description of what this is, let us go with a real life example, or just let's see examples of that. Well, non-economic activities. Your mother cooks food for you, delicious homemade foods. Do you serve or do you give her amount saying that, Mama, take this. This is for the food you cooked here. Do you do that? No, you don't. Well, similarly, another situation. Your mother is a teacher, mathematics teacher. She comes back home, teaches you mathematics. At the end of the month, do you say to her, here, take your salary? Do you say that? No, you don't. Then I ask you, what do you give her in return? You say you give her every love, every affection and everything kind and good in this world. But that is not an economic activity. That is classified under non-economic activity. Then what is economic activity? In the same scenario, your mother goes to a school nearby. She teaches the kids over there. Okay? She comes back home, she teaches, comes back home, whatever. So, at the end of the month, the school or the manager provides her with a salary, either as a cash or they transfer the amount into the bank. There involves a transfer of money or a financial transaction is happening there. And that is known as economic activity. So what are they? Economic and non-economic activity. This involves money. This does not involve money. Accountancy deals with economic activities. Similarly, how do we record them? The business person is having a number of various and varied transactions occurring to them. Like a business person buys the goods, sells the good, buys it again, sells the goods. Cash enters, cash goes out. So these various and complex transactions they won't be able to process these varied and complex transactions in their head. So what do? They record them. Where? In books. Okay, for example, we have got a diary, right? We are so good kids that we write diary. Like, okay, we write simple, small, chotu things. That your mom gave you laddu. 2 laddus, okay, you write them down. 1 laddu you gave it to your father. You write them down. Similarly, for companies, you record each small transactions in the books. That is known as bookkeeping. For example, you go to a vegetable seller or a nearby shop where you get vegetables. Okay, I am not talking about in your perspective, but I am talking about the vegetable seller perspective. He sells vegetables to you. What does he get in return? Your cash. He sells vegetables, gets cash. Vegetables decreases, cash increases. There is an increase or decrease of things happening in the organization. What do he do? He records these things. What is it called? Bookkeeping. Then what is accounting? By definition, accounting is the art of recording, classifying and summarizing the things in a significant manner and in terms of money transactions or events which are in part at least of a financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Don't be panicked. You don't have to by heart all these tough definitions. You just have to understand them. About this recording them, how do you record them? How do you classify them? How do you summarize and present them? Like, what is the profit that you get by doing all these business? How do you summarize them? All these things comes under accounting. A thorough knowledge, a thorough basic knowledge of accounting is known as accountancy. So what is accounting, what is accountancy, and what is bookkeeping is understood, right? I hope that you all are clear with these things. So let us make it something funny. Accountancy is the father. Accounting is the elder brother. Bookkeeping is the younger brother. Father, elder brother, younger brother. Accountancy, accounting, bookkeeping. Accountancy mainly deals with economic activities. It does not deal with non-economic activities in the organization or in the business. So these are the basic concepts of knowing what is accountancy, accounting and bookkeeping. And the persons who does this are known as accountants. If you do that, we'll be called as accountants. So that's a bit of introduction to you guys here. Stay tuned for more in this regard. Thank you.